When we talk about sexual connection, there are moments that linger far beyond the act itself. One of those moments is when a woman feels her partner's body pressed against her chest. It's not just skin to skin, it's warmth, pressure, breath, and the feeling of being held in a way that is both sexual and deeply human. The chest has always been one of the most sensitive and erotic areas for women. The breasts are more than just physical features. They carry layers of meaning, memory, and sexual charge. When a man places his lips there, when his tongue traces the curves, or when his hand moves across the soft skin, it sparks arousal in a way that feels both natural and powerful. But it's not only about touch, it's about what happens in the mind. Women often enjoy a partner resting on their chest because it signals closeness after desire has been fully shared. It's the contrast between the wild intensity of sex and the grounding calm of physical closeness. The weight of a body on her chest can make her feel safe, wanted, and claimed in a way words cannot describe. Sexual health education often talks about performance and technique, but it doesn't always remind us of the importance of simple, connected touch. The chest is a place where sexual energy and comfort meet. For many women, the breasts are not just for arousal during sex, but also a place where they welcome closeness after orgasm. A reminder that sex is not only about climax, but about connection. In neurology and sexual wellness, we often look at function, erections, lubrication, fertility, but true sexual health also means embracing the small details that make sex feel complete. When a woman allows you to rest your head or body on her chest after sex, it's not just an act of comfort. It's her way of saying she enjoys your presence beyond penetration, beyond release. She is opening her body in a way that is both vulnerable and erotic. So if you want to truly understand sexual wellness, don't rush past these moments. Pay attention to the chest, explore it, honor it, and rest there without distraction. Women notice when a man can shift from raw passion to gentle closeness without losing the heat of desire. That balance makes her want more, again and again. Let this be your reminder, great sex is not only what you do in motion, but also how you stay connected when the motion stops. So take action. Slow down. Touch her chest with intention. Kiss it with passion. And when the moment calls for it, rest there. Give her the pleasure of closeness and let her body know you're not just there to take, you're there to stay. When we talk about the chest as a sexual focus, the breasts stand out as one of the most sensitive and responsive areas of the female body. They are not just attractive visually, they are loaded with nerve endings that react powerfully to touch, pressure, and temperature. This is why even the simplest caress, a hand gliding slowly over the skin or lips brushing against the nipple, can cause an immediate spark of arousal. Women often describe this sensitivity as a rush that spreads through their whole body, connecting the chest directly to the sexual centers of the brain. It is a reminder that pleasure doesn't always begin between the legs. Sometimes it begins with a kiss on the chest, a touch across the breast, and the way attention is given to one of the body's most erotic zones. The breasts are also an area of the body that carries emotional and sexual meaning at the same time. A woman who enjoys having her breasts touched during sex is not just responding to the physical sensation. She is reacting to the feeling of being seen and desired in a way that is openly sexual. When a partner takes time to explore her chest, it signals that her body is worth savoring, not just rushing past. The nipples in particular are highly sensitive to both soft teasing and firmer stimulation. A light flick of the tongue, a gentle bite, or even the warmth of breath can heighten her arousal, sometimes strong enough to create waves of pleasure that feel almost like a second orgasm. That is the power of this part of her body when it is given attention without hurry. What makes breast play so significant is that it often bridges foreplay and penetration in a way that keeps arousal building naturally. For many women, direct stimulation of the chest helps the body prepare for deeper sexual activity, both mentally and physically. The connection between nipple stimulation and arousal is supported by the way the body responds with increased blood flow, faster breathing, and heightened sensitivity everywhere else. Some women even report being able to orgasm through breast and nipple play alone, which shows just how central this area can be to female sexuality. It proves that the chest is not secondary, not just for visual excitement, but a true erotic trigger that deserves focus. When explored with patience and skill, it can transform the way sex feels for both partners, turning what could be routine into something unforgettable. After the height of sex, when bodies are still warm and breathing is heavy, there is a unique kind of closeness that happens when a woman feels her partner lying against her chest. It is a moment that blends the afterglow of orgasm with the comfort of connection. Many women enjoy this because it slows the pace, softens the energy, and shifts the focus from raw passion to quiet presence. The weight of his body pressing gently against her chest, the warmth of skin against skin, and the rhythm of his breathing all combine to create a feeling that is as erotic as it is calming. This closeness carries a different kind of power, one that lingers long after the act is over. Women often describe this moment as the balance they crave in sex. During penetration, there is intensity, thrust, and a rush of energy that builds toward release. But after that, what keeps the experience meaningful is the ability to remain connected rather than pulling away. When a man stays close and rests on her chest, it reassures her that sex is not just about finishing, but about staying. This makes her feel wanted in a deeper way, not only for her body's function, but for the closeness she offers. It strengthens her desire for him because she sees that his hunger is matched with tenderness, and this duality is what keeps passion alive. This closeness also speaks to a woman's psychological need for security in her sexual relationships. The chest becomes a place of comfort after the storm of sex, almost like a landing spot for both bodies to settle into. The feel of her partner's head against her breast, or his chest pressed to hers, carries a message that words can't easily replace. It tells her that she is more than a release, that her body is valued not just during the climax, but in the quiet that follows. For many women, this is what makes them want sex again and again, because it promises not only pleasure, but the reassurance of being held. The beauty of this kind of closeness is that it keeps desire circulating long after the peak has passed. By staying on her chest, by lingering in that position, a partner fuels a deeper bond that stretches beyond physical stimulation. The comfort of this act creates a mental imprint, making the entire sexual experience feel richer and more complete. It is often these small moments that women remember most, because they transform sex into something more layered and satisfying, where passion doesn't just end with climax, but flows into a lasting sense of connection. The physical weight of a partner's body pressing onto a woman's chest can create a unique blend of pleasure that goes beyond touch alone. It is not just about the act of lying together, but about the sensation of being covered, held, and surrounded by warmth. The gentle pressure of his body over hers stimulates the skin, the breasts, and even the nervous system in a way that heightens sensitivity. Many women describe the feeling as grounding, almost as though their body is melting into the bed while still being supported by his presence. This sensation brings together safety, eroticism, and comfort, all within one simple act of closeness. What makes this weight so sexually powerful is how it changes the rhythm of intimacy. After sex, when the body is sensitive and open, the warmth and heaviness of a man resting on her chest prolong the aftershocks of arousal. His heat radiating into her breast, his chest pressing softly against her nipples, and his breath moving across her skin all act as subtle forms of stimulation. Even when penetration has ended, her body continues to respond because of the way pressure and touch work together. It is like a slow continuation of foreplay, one that extends pleasure in a quieter but still very arousing way. The chest also holds symbolic importance during these moments. For a woman, having a man stay pressed against her chest is often a sign of closeness that feels deeply erotic. It's not about the thrust or the movement anymore, it's about presence. The combination of weight and warmth creates a cocoon-like sensation where she feels wrapped up in both the intensity of sex and the comfort of connection. This makes her body relax while keeping her mind engaged in desire. That dual effect is what makes her want to stay in that position, savoring every second of contact without the need for words or motion. Even small details add to the experience. The pressure of his chest moving with each breath, the warmth of his skin spreading across her breasts, and the subtle friction as he shifts slightly can all reignite sparks of arousal. This is why many women crave that closeness on the chest, not just as a comforting act, but as a deeply sensual one. The body responds to weight and warmth instinctively, and when combined with the emotional connection of post-sex contact, it becomes one of the most memorable and satisfying parts of the entire sexual encounter. When a woman allows her partner to touch, kiss, or rest against her chest, she is offering access to one of the most vulnerable and personal parts of her body. Breasts are not just erotic zones, they are tied to her sense of femininity, sensuality, and trust. Letting someone linger there shows that she feels safe in his presence, safe enough to open her body without hesitation. This act of exposure creates a unique kind of intimacy that cannot be faked. It is a silent exchange that says she is not only aroused but also comfortable enough to let her guard down. That trust transforms the experience from something physical into something layered with emotional depth. The chest often becomes a symbol of security during and after sex. When a man lays his head against her breast or presses his chest to hers, it is a gesture that communicates closeness without words. She knows that he is not just taking from her, but giving her his presence in return. That balance between giving and receiving is what makes her feel valued, not only as a sexual partner, but as a woman who is fully desired. The act is simple, but the meaning runs deep because it signals that sex is not purely about physical release. It is about being fully seen and embraced in a way that feels real. This sense of trust also heightens arousal. When a woman feels secure, her body responds more openly, and her pleasure deepens. The chest, especially the breasts and nipples, becomes even more sensitive when she knows the touch comes from someone she can fully relax with. The more trust she feels, the more she surrenders to the sensation. A hand moving over her chest, lips circling her nipples, or the weight of his body pressing close all carry more intensity because they are layered with emotional safety. That safety allows her to explore her own desire without holding back, which makes the experience more powerful for both partners. Even after the act itself, the chest remains a place where trust is displayed. Resting together in that position reinforces the bond created during sex, reminding her that she is not just desired in the heat of passion, but also in the quiet moments after. This is why so many women enjoy having a man stay close to their chest. It reassures them that what just happened was not fleeting, that the connection carries forward, and that they can give themselves again without hesitation. After orgasm, a woman's body is still alive with sensation, even if the peak has already passed. This is where touch on the chest takes on a new level of importance. The breasts and nipples remain highly sensitive, and when a partner continues to focus attention there, it keeps her arousal simmering rather than fading too quickly. Soft kisses, gentle sucking, or even the warmth of a hand across her chest can extend the afterglow into something much longer lasting. Instead of sex ending abruptly, this kind of touch allows her to ride out waves of pleasure that feel slower, deeper, and more drawn out. It makes the whole experience feel richer because she is not left with an immediate drop in energy, but instead a gradual easing down. For many women, this attention after orgasm also prevents the sense of disconnect that can happen when climax is treated as the finish line. By continuing to explore her chest, her partner signals that he is still present, still invested in her body, and not rushing away. That simple act of staying with her keeps her desire alive, even in the quieter moments. Her nipples can remain responsive long after penetration ends, and stimulation here often sends tingles through her body that make her feel she is still in the sexual space. The chest becomes a bridge between the intensity of orgasm and the calm of recovery, allowing her to transition more smoothly rather than feeling like the experience has been cut short. This extended arousal can also create anticipation for what comes next. When her chest is kissed or caressed after orgasm, it can reignite sparks that build toward another round of pleasure. Some women find that their sensitivity in this area becomes heightened after climax, almost as if every touch is amplified. That means a partner who knows how to linger here can keep the fire burning, sometimes even leading her body toward multiple orgasms. Even if another climax does not happen, the sustained attention makes her feel that her body is fully appreciated, not just during the main act but also in the moments that follow. The beauty of focusing on the chest after orgasm lies in how it slows everything down. Instead of rushing away, it creates space for lingering desire, where the physical and emotional satisfaction blend together. A woman feels not only sexually fulfilled, but also emotionally cared for, because the touch is both arousing and reassuring. The breasts remain a center of pleasure, even when the peak has passed, and continuing to explore them keeps the intimacy alive in a way that words cannot. Great sex is often thought of as fast, intense, and driven by raw passion, but what many people overlook is the power of slowing down and softening touch. A woman's chest becomes the perfect place to experience this side of sexuality. After the thrusting and the build-up to climax, when the body is still humming with energy, gentle contact on the breast keeps the moment alive in a way that feels both erotic and tender. It proves that sex is not just about high intensity, but also about the balance of slowing down, letting the body breathe, and savoring every inch of connection. The chest invites this slower rhythm, where the hands, lips, and skin can speak more than words ever could. For women, these softer moments can feel just as arousing as the more aggressive parts of sex. The way a partner's mouth lingers on her nipple, the brush of his fingers tracing the curves of her breast, or the warmth of his body resting against her chest can create sensations that are deep and lasting. This kind of touch is not about rushing her into another orgasm, but about showing that her body is worth enjoying at every stage. The breasts respond to this kind of attention in powerful ways, remaining sensitive long after the main act is over. That lingering sensitivity allows her to stay in a sexual mindset even when the intensity has faded. Softness also carries emotional weight, which directly feeds into sexual wellness. When a woman feels her partner shifting from raw desire to gentle closeness, she recognizes that he values her beyond the climax. The chest becomes a place where she can feel cherished as well as desired. That mix strengthens her bond with him because she sees that he knows how to care for her body as much as he knows how to arouse it. The softer moments keep her feeling open, and that openness makes it easier for her to let go fully during sex. It becomes a cycle where care fuels desire and desire fuels care. This balance of passion and softness is what separates average sex from great sex. Penetration alone cannot create lasting satisfaction if it is not paired with moments of tenderness, and the chest provides the ideal space for that tenderness to show. By focusing on her breasts and chest with care after the act, a partner gives her the reassurance and comfort that elevates sex into something unforgettable. These moments of softness are not separate from sexual pleasure, they are part of it, and they make her body crave more every time.